that you're here, and we are really excited that you chose to be a part of the Show Up for Your Life motivational movement. So this is what I want to start off by talking to you about. I don't know about you, but here's what I wonder. Do you ever wonder if there's an opportunity out there that has your name on it? I mean, a very special opportunity, the type of opportunity that has the opportunity to literally take your business to the next level. I mean, landing that next big client, or maybe getting that opportunity that you've really been waiting for, that you believe is going to completely start changing things around for you. Maybe it's the opportunity to go back and get another degree. Maybe it's an opportunity to strike up an amazing partnership with somebody that can take your business to the next level. Or maybe for those of you that have a desire to speak, maybe it's an opportunity to get on somebody's stage and be able to share your story and be able to share your gift or whatever it might be. But I truly believe that every single one of us will encounter about 2 to 3 opportunities a year that if we move forward on those opportunities, that they would have the ability to literally transform our lives, that they would have the ability to take our business to the next level, that they would have the ability to completely change the trajectory of our year. And so, but here's what I need you to understand. Not only is it important for you to realize that, you know what, you want to be seeking these opportunities, but realize this, that you have a responsibility. You have a role to play to prepare yourself for the opportunities. And so I want to just share a couple of things with you that I think is going to be required, things that are necessary for you to make the best out of the next opportunity that possibly comes your way. And so if you're a note taker, I want you to go ahead and grab a pen and a paper. This would be a great time for you to get yourself in a place where you can really be able to really dial in right now and make sure that you're really taking this information in, because I believe that there's still an opportunity out there that has your name on it, and it's all going to be based upon how you choose to show up in that opportunity. So the first thing that I need you to understand is this, that you have to train and prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had. I'm going to say that one more time. You've got to train and prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had. Understand this, that there is in fact an opportunity that is going to present itself. But the only question is, will you be prepared? Would you have already done the things that are required to make the best of that interview that you're possibly going to land? Are you going to make the best of the opportunity to get on somebody's stage if you want to become a speaker? Are you going to make the best of that opportunity to strike up this amazing strategic partnership if you meet that specific partner that could possibly be the person that you'll be able to collaborate with to take your business to the next level? The question is, will you be ready for that opportunity? And so here's one of the things that I know, the Hall of Famer coach, his name is John Legend. Here's something that he said, John Wooden, I'm sorry. One of the things that he said this, listen, when opportunity knocks, it's too late to prepare. I want you to write that down. When opportunity knocks, it's too late to prepare. And so it's one thing for you to go ahead and wish that somebody gave you an opportunity. You know what? It's great for you to wish that you have the opportunity to go ahead and get your book in front of somebody. It's great to have, to wish that you get the opportunity to be able to present your business idea to a group of investors. You know what? It's great to wish that you get that opportunity to do that thing that you know that you've really been wanting to do. But the only question is, will you be prepared? And so here's what I need you to realize, that you literally have to prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had. That is why somebody said it's better to have an opportunity. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And so realize this, that the preparation starts right now. As a matter of fact, there's an old proverb. It said that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. But if you didn't plant that tree 20 years ago, the next best time is right now. So the question is, what are you doing right now to prepare for this next potential interview? What are you doing right now to sharpen your skill set, to prepare yourself for the opportunity that you may have to get on somebody's teleseminar, opportunity you may have to get on somebody's stage? What are you doing right now to prepare yourself for the opportunity if you were to find that perfect partner that has the ability to write a big check to your company to get you to go ahead and get to the next level? What are you doing right now to prepare yourself for that thing that you want to take to the next level? And really, that's what the question is. Because you know what? We all want to get an opportunity. We all are seeking that opportunity that's going to allow us to have a breakthrough. We're all looking for that opportunity that's going to allow us to get to the next level. But the question is, will you be prepared? And so I need you to realize that you've got to prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had. And so here's one of the things that I realized, that some of the biggest and best opportunities that I've had in my life, unfortunately, that when I got the announcement or when that opportunity presented itself, guess what? I didn't have very much time to prepare. I remember the very first time I got a telephone call, somebody said, hey, Andy, listen, we passed your name on to, this news station. We told them about some of the things that you're doing. And you know what? They said they may be interested in interviewing you. And I'll never forget this. The producer called me from the news station. And once the producer called me, she asked me a couple questions. And then she said, listen, when can we meet up? I said, I don't know. I mean, you'll tell me. And she says, well, listen, we have an opportunity to meet up with you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Will you be available? And of course, I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity. But listen, let me tell you something. I couldn't believe that I had literally gotten a phone call, got on the call with the producer, and literally the next day, I had to be prepared to be on camera. But let me just tell you, there wasn't very much time to prepare. And so the only thing that saved me was all the time I had been preparing before that. It's all the books that I've been reading. It's the motivational tapes and videos that I've been going to. It's the time I had invested in my personal development that really allowed me to be able to perform in that particular opportunity. And let me tell you something, I definitely could have done a much better job, but I was able to leverage the opportunity. Why? Why? Because I had been doing the work beforehand. You see, I had been doing some things, and I'll never forget this too. One of the first times that I had an opportunity, as many of you know, I've been doing the Show Up for Your Life Motivational Movement teleseminar, as well as the live stream now for about four some odd years, okay? But I'll never forget this. As a matter of fact, when I was working along with my mentor at the time, Les Brown, and he himself was doing a very powerful call on Monday nights, which is a call that still continues to go on right now. And I'll never forget this. Les has really had literally hundreds of people that were accustomed and used to listening to his voice and listening to him deliver powerful, impactful messages every single Monday. And I'll never forget that time when I got the phone call, and it was literally 1 hour before Les's call. And I myself was thinking about, what, I'm looking forward to the call. I can't wait to the call. And then my phone rings and I pick it up. I'm like, hello? And he's like, hey, Andy, what's going on? This is Les Brown. I said, hey, Les, how you doing? He said, listen, Andy, listen, I found out I've got another event I've got to attend to. Unfortunately, I cannot make the conference call tonight. So I need to know whether you can step in my place. Can you go ahead and deliver my message tonight? Now, I need you to realize this. This is literally 1 hour before his call. This call that's going to have a couple of hundred people that are used to hearing one of the top 5 speakers in the world, Mr. Les Brown, deliver this message. And I get a call 1 hour in advance to ask me, am I ready to go ahead and deliver this message in his absence to a group of people who have been listening to Les Brown, to the people who have this bar raised all the way up here. And now here I have this opportunity and literally about an hour to prepare for the opportunity. And let me just tell you, that hour was not going to be enough. The only thing that saved me was all the work that I had been doing beforehand. The thing that saved me was the times that I've been listening to the books and the motivational tapes and CDs, the times that I was pacing in my backyard and pretending that I had an audience, the times that I was practicing with other people who are going through the coaching program with me. And we would wake up every single day and we would get on the phone for about an hour and we would practice doing presentations on the phone. And we would practice doing 3-minute presentations, 5-minute presentations, 30-minute presentations, 1 hour presentations. And then we would practice delivering speeches over the phone and not hearing anything in response and having to generate our own type of energy. It wasn't, and let me tell you, the only thing that allowed me to take advantage of that opportunity was because of all the work that I did in advance. I would have never been able to go ahead and step into his place. I would have never been able to execute. I would have never been able to deliver had I not prepared beforehand. And so here's what I need you to know, that there's going to be an opportunity that's going to come your way. There's going to be an opportunity that has your name on it. But the only question is, will you be prepared? Are you doing the work that you have to do right now to prepare for the opportunity? And that's why I love that proverb. Listen, the best time to plant a tree was about 20 years ago. But if you didn't do it 20 years ago, the best time to do it is right now. And so if you're asking yourself, when's the best time to prepare for my next opportunity? The next time for you to prepare for your next opportunity is right now. Right now is the time for you to go ahead and start doing the mock interviews. Right now is the time for you to read the books and the tapes and go to the personal development workshops and seminars. Right now is the time for you to go ahead and close the door and practice your craft and practice your skill and do that thing that you know that you've been wanting to do. Right now is the time for you to start putting together your business ideas and structuring it before you meet the potential investor. Right now is the time for you to start thinking about how you could collaborate with a potential partner before you have that opportunity to talk to a partner. Why? Because you have to prepare for the opportunity that you have not yet had. Listen, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And so, yes, there is an opportunity with your name on it. And yes, there is an opportunity that could have the ability to literally change things around. But trust and believe that you're going to have to put in the work. And when will you have to put in the work? Right now. You got to work right now to start developing your skills. You got to work right now to start having the things in place. You got to work right now in building out your back office. You got to work right now in having your team together. I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. You know what? I was watching, something called the O Factor. And what they were talking about is, how people's lives can completely turn around. Businesses and authors can literally become best-selling authors overnight after making an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show when it was still on the air. And how people who had businesses, their businesses literally would have thousands of new customers and make millions of dollars overnight from the exposure of actually being on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And so I remember seeing one of these people that created an invention, and they had to compete with all these people, and they had an opportunity to get on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And so they got on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I mean, it was bananas. The show wasn't even over, and they were literally thousands of orders that were coming in through their website. Their website crashed in the whole nine. And then I remember watching a series where they were doing a follow-up to see what happened to this guy who had this special opportunity. He invented this amazing product, and he had all this traction, and he got on the Oprah Show, and I'm expecting the guy to say that he's a multi-millionaire and how amazing things were. And he said, listen, getting on the Oprah Winfrey Show was the best thing that ever happened to him. And yes, indeed, thousands of orders came in. And yes, indeed, he was able to have a level of success overnight. But here's what he said. He said, unfortunately, we weren't prepared for it. Unfortunately, our website crashed. Unfortunately, we couldn't fulfill all the orders. Unfortunately, people started canceling the orders. Unfortunately, we went up in the air and we crashed and burned as fast as we came up in the air, because here he was. He had this tremendous opportunity, but unfortunately, he wasn't prepared for the opportunity. The infrastructure wasn't there, that they couldn't meet all of the demands that are there. And here's what I need you to understand. There's an opportunity that has your name on it. There's an opportunity that you're literally, that's going to allow you to skyrocket, an opportunity that's going to allow you to completely change everything, the landscape of what your year is going to look like. But here's what I need you to understand. You've got to start preparing. You've got to start preparing right now. You've got to start doing the work right now to prepare for this opportunity that you have not yet had. And so the first thing I need you to understand, you've got to prepare and train for the opportunity that you have not yet had. Now, if you're a note taker, the next thing that I need you to realize is this. I love this quote. You know what? I love this quote, and this is one of my favorites that I like to share about, but it really gets the point across. And here's what it says by H. Jackson Brown. Here's what he said. He said, the opportunity dances with those who are already on the dance floor. So, of course, the first thing is you've got to prepare for the opportunity. But after you've prepared for the opportunity, you've got to put yourself in position to be able to get the opportunity. And so, in other words, you got to get on the dance floor, baby. And so if you're looking to get that new job, guess what? You got to be out there going to, different expos, job expos. You got to be submitting your resumes. You got to be getting out there and networking and talking to people. You know what? If you're trying to get in new business partners, you got to get in places where you can talk to potential business partners. Talk to them about your opportunity. Talk to them about how they could partner up with you. Talk to them about all the new promotions and the things that are going on. Listen, if you are trying to get on somebody's stage and you're trying to make some things happen, you better be going out to events and talking to the key decision makers for those events and finding out and finding out how you could possibly get on their stage. If you are trying to take your business to the next level, you better be getting in the presence of some successful business people, people who've been down that track and doing the things that you're looking to do. Listen, you got to put yourself in the game. You got to show up. You got to get yourself on the dance floor. Understand this. Listen, out of sight, out of mind. Listen, you cannot become a success sitting down in this little island all by yourself and talking about how great and wonderful you are, but you're not getting out there and exposing yourself to anybody. That's right. Listen, opportunity dances with those who are already on the dance floor, not those who are talking about getting on the dance floor, not those who just want to have great conversation. No, those who are putting themselves in position to be able to make some things happen, those who are putting themselves in position for those opportunities to present themselves. I'll never forget this. This was years ago. I remember there was this big personal development event, and, you know, they had these big name speakers, and I really wanted to be able to get on the stage. And at that time, I had pretty much, you know, I was probably about a year into my speaking career. And, you know, and many of the names, they were big names. And so I remember, you know, speaking to the person that was putting together this event and asking them, you know, is there any opportunity for me to be able to get on the stage? And, you know, knowing that, you know, I was a person just really starting off, you know, he pretty much dismissed me and said, hey, listen, you know, we'll look into it in the future. And so I remember leading up to the event, I just kept getting phone calls, finding out what event he was going to talk about. I just kept talking to him about, hey, listen, you know, I'd love to talk about it. He would say, well, listen, you know, we do these events more than once a year. We'll see what we could do. Then I said, you know what? Listen, even though I can't necessarily get on the stage right now from what this guy's telling me, I'm still going to attend the event. I'm going to show up. I'm going to talk to some people. I'm going to make sure that he sees me there. And so I remember I got there the first day of the event. I was there. I was talking to him. I made sure to talk to some of the other speakers. I made sure that, you know, during the lunch session to have some conversation. I made sure to hang around after the event, have more dialogue and so forth. And then once again, I remember asking him, hey, you know, is there any way I could get on stage? I said, listen, I'm prepared. I've got a talk ready to go. You know, I've got a product that I can offer. And so once again, he said, listen, we'll see what we could do maybe next time. And so I remember the next morning for day 2 of the event, I remember I first got up, I put on a pair of slacks and a regular, you know, dress shirt. And then I said, you know what, Andy, no. Listen, you know what? Opportunity dances with those who are already on the dance floor. If you're going to show up like somebody who fits the role. You're saying that you want to get on the stage, look like you deserve to be on stage. And so I remember changing my outfit, putting on a complete suit on, and I remember just showing up the next day. And then I remember they had the beginning opening speaker, and then it was around lunchtime, and I saw the guy who was hosting the event and his staff were huddled up in a corner, and they really looked concerned. And I was like, well, why is everybody looking so concerned? What is going on right now? And so I just sort of strolled my way over by them and sort of eavesdrop on their conversation. And what I found out was that one of the speakers that was scheduled to come in, that speaker unfortunately did not come in. That speaker did not make their flight. That speaker was not going to show up. And so what it means is that there was the slot available that now there is no speaker there. And so now they're going to have to rearrange the schedule. As a matter of fact, the guy who was actually hosting the event was already preparing himself to be able to fill in that slot. And then I caught them right in that moment. I said, listen, what happened? He said, listen, one of our speakers couldn't make it and so forth. I said, listen, man, I'm telling you, I can go ahead and fill that spot. He said, listen, it's a 45-minute slot. You know what? I haven't had an opportunity to really see you speak yet, Andy. I don't know. And besides, you know what? You know, you have to have a product to offer. And here's what he did not know. He did not know that I had my products in the car. Listen, locked and loaded, as some of my friends with the Tracy Lynn Fashion Jewelry family tell me. Listen, I had my products in my car, all right? And I was ready. And so I told him, listen, I got my product. He said, what? You have your products? I said, yeah. I said, listen, I am ready. I can handle this. And then he said, well, listen, let me think about it. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it was through my persistence or whatever, but this guy came back. He says, listen, Andy, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give you 45 minutes, but I'm going to give you 30 minutes. Go ahead. In 30 minutes, you're going to get this slot. And I remember now, I'm excited at the same time, nervous at the same time. And I'll never forget that moment that I get the opportunity to get up there. And guess what? I did a great job. And guess what? I closed like 20% of the room to my product. And guess what? The guy was like, listen, the next time we have an event, we are having you on the speaker lineup. But here's what I need you to understand. That opportunity wasn't handed to me. No, that opportunity came about because I put myself in position to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. In other words, I got on the dance floor, baby. I got out there. And so here's what I need you to realize. Realize this, that you've got to put yourself in position. Yeah, you've got to prepare. You've got to train for the opportunity, but you also got to put yourself in position to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. Why? Because opportunity dances with those who are already on the dance floor. And so you got to put on your dance shoes. You got to get out there. You got to make sure you're staying visible. Why? Because out of sight, out of mind. Opportunities love to present itself to people who make themselves visible, to people who show up, to people who don't make excuses, to people who are persistent, for people who continue to knock down the door. As a matter of fact, somebody says that, you know what, if opportunity doesn't knock, Build a door. That's what you got to do. Build a door. And part of the way that you build a door is by making sure that you show up. Part of the way that you build a door is by making sure that you get yourself out there on the dance floor. And so here's what I know. There is an opportunity that has the ability to take your business to the next level. There is an opportunity that has the ability to do some extraordinary things. But here's what I need you to also understand, that it's going to require for you to put yourself in position. You got to get on the dance floor. You got to make yourself visible. You got to get out there to those job expos if that's what you're trying to do. You got to get in front of the right people. You've got to make sure that you're talking to the right potential partners. You got to make sure that you're doing those things that you need to do to be able to grow your business, to be able to create opportunities for yourself, because if you don't, unfortunately, they're going to pass you by. And somebody else who is willing to get on the dance floor, somebody else who made themselves visible, somebody else who decided to have no excuses will be able to move forward. And so, of course, the first thing that I need you to understand is this, that you've got to prepare and train for the opportunities that you have not yet had. But then after you prepare, after you train, because why? Because as you know, as Whitney Young said, listen, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And so as John Wooden said, that when opportunity knocks, it is too late to prepare. So you got to prepare right away. Now, as you're preparing, understand this, then you have another responsibility. Your responsibility then is to put yourself in position to take advantage of those opportunities. It's to put yourself on the dance floor. Why? Because opportunity dances with those who are already on the dance floor. You got to show up. Understand this, that out of sight, out of mind. You got to put yourself in alignment for those things that you're looking to create. And so you got to be at those networking events. You've got to be at those personal development events. You got to get on the phone. You have to go to those personal development events. You have to make sure that you put yourself in position to make some things happen. And then finally, if you get that opportunity, realize this. Here's what I need you to do. Do more than what you're asked for. Do more than what you're asked for. You've got to find a way to raise the bar. Stop showing up in a way and having this attitude of what's in it for me. No. Ask yourself, every time you step into a space, every time you step into an opportunity, I want you to be thinking about, how is it that I can make an impact? How can I create a change? How can I create a shift? How is it that I can make sure that everybody who leaves my presence leaves here a better person? What is it that I can do that's going to allow me to go ahead and take my numbers to the next level? What is it I can do to help somebody else to hit their goals and objectives? When you show up that way, all of a sudden you begin to make impact. And here's what I need you to understand. Impact drives income. You see, there's a lot of people who want to take their income to the next level, but they're not understanding that in order to get their income to the next level, that they've got to find a way to get their impact to the next level. And so what we've got to learn to do is to do more than what's expected of us. We've got to do more than what we're even being paid to do. Realize this. I'll never forget this. Zig Ziglar said this. He said that you've got to do more than what you're paid for, and eventually you'll get paid for more for what you do. I'm going to say that one more time. He said that you got to do more than what you're paid for, and so eventually you will get paid more for what you do. And so we got to find a way to go the extra mile. When everybody else decides that they're only going to go 1 mile, you got to be willing to go 2. You got to be willing to go 3. Wayne Dyer said that it's never crowded on the extra mile. Why? Because most people aren't willing to go the extra mile. Most people aren't willing to raise the bar. Most people aren't willing to do more than what's required of them. And so what happens is when you show up to an opportunity hungry, when you show up to an opportunity willing to do more, when you show up to an opportunity willing to do more than what's required of you, and making sure that you're leaving it all on the line, whatever it is you're doing, whether you're getting on the stage and you're talking to people, whether you have an opportunity to speak to some youth or contribute, whether you have an opportunity to provide your services or your products, that you find a way to over-deliver. Yes, you know what? One of the things that I love about, you know, the business culture over in China, one of the things that they've mastered is they learn to under-promise and over-deliver, under-promise and over-deliver. Unfortunately, most people over-promise and under-deliver. No, you can't do that. We want to be able to, every time you step into an opportunity, you want to crush that opportunity. You want to break that opportunity wide open. You want them to say, man, we loved her, or man, we loved him. They were amazing. We can't wait to have them back. We can't wait to use their services again. We can't wait to purchase their products. And so we got to find a way to go above and beyond. And so when I say that, I just think about, you know, there's a couple of people that, you know, I've hired their services, and one particular lady, You know, both myself and my wife, a lot of times, unfortunately, because we have events, we have coaching students and different things that we have going on. Unfortunately, you know what? Things get a little chaotic sometimes in the house. And because of that, you know, we found this amazing, amazing lady that has this cleaning business that comes in, and you know what? She cleans our home. And here's the crazy thing is, you know what? We hired her to come in and just really clean the house, you know, do your basic things. Okay. But here's the amazing thing about this lady. When she comes in, she goes beyond just cleaning. No, she decides to completely organize the house. I mean, she'll go into our office. She'll find ways to stack all of our products and put our products away. She'll find ways to organize our bookshelf. She'll find ways to put our, you know, the things for the studio away. She finds a way to put the lighting away. She'll find a way to rearrange everything in the closet. You know, she'll find ways to restructure the furniture and all this stuff. So what happens is she always goes above and beyond. And when she does that, she's not doing it because she's expecting any additional compensation. She's doing it because that is the standard that she raises for herself. That is the way she delivers her services. That is a bar that she's raised on herself. That is just the way that she shows up. And so let me tell you, the first couple of times that she did that, you know what? We just gave her a little tip here or there. But what happened is she does this so much that literally the last time she came here, all jokes aside, we literally paid her double. We paid her double of what she normally charges. Why? Why? Because of all the times that she did more than what she was being paid to do. And so that's why Zig Ziglar said this. This is what he said. He said, if you do more than what you're paid for, eventually you'll get paid more for what you do, because somebody's going to recognize that you're going above and beyond. Somebody's going to recognize that you're raising the bar. Somebody's going to recognize the way that you show up. Somebody's going to recognize the way that you're impacting lives. Somebody's going to recognize the amount of attention and detail you put into your products and your services. Somebody's going to recognize the way that you are helping out your customers and your clients. And so you've got to be willing to literally do more than what's expected of you. You've got to raise the bar. You've got to be willing to go the extra mile. And when you do that in any opportunity, guess what it does? It creates additional opportunities for yourself. And so here's what I know. What I know is this, is that during the course of any year, you will get, in fact, 2 to 3 opportunities that if you move forward on those opportunities can change your life. But trust and believe, in order for those opportunities to change your life, in order for you to be able to make tremendous impact, that number one, you've got to prepare and train for the opportunity that you have not yet had. That is a requirement. That is your responsibility. The best time for you to plant a tree was 20 years ago. If you didn't do it 20 years ago, the best time is right now. When's the best time to prepare for your next opportunity? Right now. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Number two, realize this, that opportunity dances with those who are already on the dance floor. You've got to put yourself in position to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. You've got to go ahead and get out there, out of sight, out of mind. Do those things that are required to put yourself in position to get the raise. Put yourself in position to get the strategic partnership. Put yourself in position to be able to market your book. Put yourself in position to be able to get that college degree. Put yourself in position to do that thing that you know that you want to do. Why? Because opportunity dances with those who are already on the dance floor. And of course, last but not least, realize this, when you do get that opportunity, and you will, trust and believe that you better deliver. You better go the extra mile. You better learn to do more than what's expected of you. Why? Because if you do more than what you're paid for, eventually you'll get paid for more for what you do. And so here's what I know. There is an opportunity that has your name on it. And when it comes your way, if you can just follow these steps, trust and believe that your life is going to start going to the next level. You're going to start getting more opportunities are going to come your way, and you're going to start creating much more impact. I'm so grateful that you chose to tune in and being part of this amazing teleseminar, and of course, this live stream. And of course, this wouldn't be Andy Henriquez if I didn't end by telling you this. Show up for your lives, ladies and gentlemen, because if you don't, nobody else will. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Well, first of all, before we open up the lines and I go ahead and ask Lewis to open up the conference call line, let me just tell you, I am super excited. Of course, you guys know literally we are just literally, I mean, days away from the amazing Show Up 2015 event. And so if for some reason you have the capacity to put yourself in position to be at this event and you haven't already done so, let me just tell you, do whatever you have to do right now to get uncomfortable. And if you are already registered for the event, let me just tell you, you better tell a family member, you better tell them a friend, and tell them on July 10th and 11th, they want to be in California. You can get all the information and the details at showup2015.com. Once again, you're going to go to showup2015.com. This is going to be a transformational event. I'm going to be there. We got some other amazing speakers who are going to be talking to you really about positioning yourself and sharing with you techniques and strategies to help you to take your personal life and also to take your business to the next level. And so if you're a person, you know what, things have been a little tight for you financially and you've been trying to figure out how you could create some additional income, we're going to be talking about how to position yourself to make multiple streams of income. If you're a person that you're looking to have a competitive edge, you know, we're going to be talking about how to enhance your communication skills, your presentation skills, to have more power, feeling, and conviction, and to be able to connect with people and move them to action. We've got one of the top sales strategists and experts that are coming in to really help you to learn how to position yourself and increase your sales. And whether you know it or not, trust and believe, you are in sales. You've got to sell yourself. You got to sell your products. You got to sell your services. You got to sell your vision. We're also going to be talking about time management. I know you got a lot of things going on. You're trying to figure out how to balance it. So we're going to be talking about time management and how to make the best of your business, how to make the best of the opportunities that really come your way. And of course, to those of you trying to figure out, you know what, Andy, you're saying, Andy, listen, man, I've had some trials, some setbacks. Well, listen, we got the comeback expert. He's going to be there. He's going to help you to position yourself to be able to make a comeback in your life. And so listen, if you're registered, you want to make sure that you bring a friend, do whatever you have to do, you know, let them know. For those of you who aren't registered yet, if any reason you're not registered, let me tell you, you want to go to showup2015.com. You want to join us in California. This is going to be an awesome, tremendous event. We've been preparing, we've been planning for you, and this is going to be a transformational event. So you want to make sure you do that. The other thing is, as you know, we are pretty much going to go into